Chapter 17, The Warsaw Pact. Author's note. I hope everyone is as outraged as I am about the NATO invasion of fucking Ukraine. So at midnight, I went to the room requirement place and walked into a big room, the mirrors everywhere and everything. Lots and lots of students were there, including many hot girls. Ordinary teenage boys wouldn't be able to concentrate with such attractive girls supporting him. I was foremost a communist, and some chiefly as fellow proletarians in a comradely way. The magic had decorated the room with decorations in a communist way. See, even Hogwarts wants them to fight back, like an Order of the Phoenix.
It's brilliant. It's like Hogwarts wants us to fight back.
There were a bunch of old Soviet truth posters, which weren't propaganda posters because propaganda is always lies. All around were also inspiring posters of Vladimir Lenin, Joseph Stalin, Mao Zedong? Sorry if I mispronounced it. Bashar al-Assad and other leftist heroes. There are also several Che Guevara t-shirts hung up on the walls. Welcome, comrades, I told him in a revolutionary voice. Today we shall found a progressive organization for the socialist advancement of the working proletariat class against the fucking bourgeois imperialist bastards of capitalist bourgeoisie. Everyone cheered with working voices. I don't see why you didn't let Romilda and the anarchists come, said Hannah Abbott innocently. We may not agree with them on everything, but shouldn't everyone opposed to the capitalist class work together? Even though Hannah was incredibly sexy and cute, I wasn't distracted by her adorable body and awesomely girlish pigtails because my political sophistication and my righteous anger boiled over, even though she hadn't meant any harm. Don't you understand what's happening here? I yelled angrily in an angry voice. Wow, I cannot tell you were angry. The anarchists are illegitimate puppets created by Dumbledore to take over the true revolution. We will not associate with them because we are the true revolution. We shall call ourselves the Warsaw Pact. Ooh. I wonder if someone made an entire fandom wiki page about this fanfic, considering someone made one for My Immortal.
I don't know. I think this one's definitely nowhere near as influential as My Immortal was.
I mean, true, but still. Anyway.
Yeah. Chapter 18, Cultural Appropriation. Oh my god. Author's note. Lonely executioner, you were a petite bourgeoisie intellectual and are so deep depth in false consciousness that you don't realize the capitalist system only works for the fucking 1%. I bet you voted for Sarah Palin Law. Oh, that might kind of date this fic back too. I don't even remember when she was running. Probably fucking 2009 or something.
Yeah, it's around that.
The next day, we all went to Transformation, which was recently taught by racist Professor McGonagall. Since it's the first class of the year, we're going to take a day off and watch a movie, she said in an elitist bourgeoisie voice. We will be seeing the Oscar-nominated Bollywood classic Gone Once Upon a Time in India. How dare you engage in cultural appropriation, you fucking white supremacist. I yelled gloriously. Mr. Potter, I am not racist, and we're just watching a movie, said Professor McGonagall in a racist voice. It's just a movie to ignorant white racists like you, I yelled in a revolutionary voice. I suppose it doesn't occur to you that your British ancestors committed fucking genocide against India. Maybe you should think of that before you start sealing their culture. You communists are the racist ones, said McGonagall, demonstrating how she was blinded by her white privilege. Cultural appropriation isn't real. Race is a social construct, and all people are one. You can't fool me with your racist lies, Professor McKinley. I yelled in righteous proletarian anger. Native peoples all around the world fucking suffered under racist white imperialism, and you think that makes it okay to fucking steal their cultures? But I'm doing this to honor them, said McGonagall as she racistly took out the DVD she was racistly stealing from India's rich cultural history. I will not take part in your fucking racist imperialism, I yelled as I stood up to stand. Everyone who cares about the fucking people of India, follow me. I turned and defiantly walked out of the racist classroom with every member of the Warsaw Pact following behind me.
Ooh.
This chapter has been odd because it's an actual issue, but I don't think playing a movie is cultural appropriation.
Yeah, that is pretty true.
Yeah, she started saying some BS when she was like, all people are one.
Chapter 19. Harry goes to Dumbledore for people. Oh, not this again. Author not. Thank you for attacking lonely Executioner Comrade Vipera 411. Also, thanks to Comrade Tootsie Roll 101. We all went to the office of the Dumbledore. I knew the password. I was betting that Dumbledore was counting on me being unable to say it. To be sure, it was difficult to form those vile words in my mouth, but I screwed up my face and I did it. Adam Smith was right, I said, injecting that repugnant to Borgoi sense with as much sarcasm as possible. The gargoyle capital capitalistically jumped aside. We all went on the imperialist escalator. Once we reached the top, I walked to the office followed by my followers, which included many hot girls, because of my inspiring politics, and not because I was a total stud, which I was, although I obviously didn't care about something that was capitalistic as that. Inside the room, Professor Pepsi was corporately sitting at the desk, and Dumbledore was licking his shoes with his Bourgogne tongue. Oh, hello, said Dumbledore as he got off the floor. I was just helping Hal clean his shoes. That's even worse. Don't worry, I'm still his boss, and not at all controlled by him, the way the big Kappas always control the supposed leaders. Professor Dumbledore, we need to talk to you, I explained epically. Could you make Professor Pepsi go away? Let me guess, he's not going to. Anything you can say in front of me, you can say in front of Hal, said that libertarian fuck Albus Dumbledore, laughing in imperious light. Of course we could both leave, but that wouldn't help you very much, would it? Professor, you have to do something about McGonagall, I say comradely. She's teaching fucking racism. I think we should do nothing, said Professor Pepsi in an evil voice. Not because racism is necessary to maintain the false consciousness of the proletariat, but because I don't believe it's true. Even if it were true, Professor McGonagall is welcome to her wonderful freedom of speech. Really? You let a racist person do that? Laughed Dumbledore in our faces. You lying bastard, I yelled in a working class way. Racism takes freedom of speech away from the proletarian minorities. Now why should their freedom of speech matter more than Minerva's just because she can exploit them? Asked Dumbledore in a lying voice. I love the way you libertarians think, laughed Professor Pepsi in a fucking voice. We all turned to walk out of the room. I don't know why I even bothered to go to a corporate sellout Dumbledore for help. I guess I hoped that he would have at least enough integrity to be opposed to racism. I guess I was wrong. Now we would have to try to find some other way to get that racist liar Professor McGonagall fired.
Okay. Chapter 20. The Plane Against Racism.
The plane.
Author's note. Author's note in response to guests, the imperialist bourgeoisie elites keep themselves in power by tricking the fucking proletariat into thinking communism is evil and to oppose their own fucking class intersex. If I secretly supported the capital caste, I wouldn't be telling you the fucking truth about communism. What are we going to do about that fucking racist Professor McGonagall? Asked the incredibly exotic Parvati Paddle as sexy tears poured down her face. What she did with fucking Indian heritage. It's the true face of capitalism, I explained gravely. British colonization of India never really ended. Now they imperialistically exploit the Indian proletariat by giving them our fucking jobs. It's slavery. You've got that right, Parvati sobbed in a gorgeous, exploited way. I stepped forward and gave her a big manly kiss on the lips. Ginny didn't feel jealous at all because she understood I was doing it to bring comradely joy of fellow proletarian and not because I was attracted to her Parvati or anything. Wow, that really helped me, Comrade Harry, said Parvati sexily after we parted. But what can we do if Dumbledore won't help us? We're going to do a fucking... And then we all went to the room requirement to start making all the signs of fucking shit.
Sexily, of course.
Yeah.
Chapter 21, Confronting Deep-Seated Racism. Author's note. Oops, you're a petite bourgeoisie intellectual suffering from false consciousness, thanks to Comrade Fire and Steel. Also, a big shootout to the heroes in the Kremlin who have finally gotten the courage to charge that traitor Gorbachev with treason. Down the birthmarks, man! At dinner, We all walked to the Great Hall holding our communist signs. They read awesome things like "Smash Racism," "Fire all racist teachers," and "End American imperialism now." We all chanted, "McGonagall is a racist troll. Let's take a stab up her hole." That is vulgar and unacceptable. Gasped McGonagall in a racist voice. 10 points from Gryffindor. You can't control us from Burgoy's points, you racist fuckhead, I yelled glamorously. The schoolhouse system is just a fucking purest way of dividing the proletariat against itself to create a false consciousness. Mr. Potter, I don't even understand why you think I'm a racist, said McGonagall in an evil voice. That just goes to show how racist you are, you fucking racist, I yelled gloriously in a socialist voice. Can't even tell how racist you're being. Fire her, sobbed Parvati in an exotic way. I can't even look at her. It's too triggering. Look at Parvati, you fucking racist, I screamed angrily. At that fucking racist McGonagall. Just by being here, you're making her relive the racist trauma you inflicted on her in your bourgeois classroom. And now you're saying you don't even know how you're a fucking racist? I'm sorry, but McGonagall didn't even actually do anything racist in her mind in an elitist liberal voice. Just because Parvati was a little offended, it doesn't make it racist. It's not for the white petite bourgeois class like you to decide what's racist, I screeched at fucking Hermione. I'm not a social class. I'm a person. Hermione nagged liberally. There are no individuals, you fucking individualist, yelled Neville. All people are controlled by their fucking social class. Read the Marx and educate yourself. Oh yeah, let's go, Neville. I think nothing should be done, said that fucking stupid anarchist puppet Romilda Vane. She had put her hair in Princess Leia braids, making her look like genocide fascist maniac Yulia. I don't want to butcher her name, so I'm not gonna say it. After all, we're in the hairs of Bakunin and opposed to the government, to all government, so why should we want the government to ever do anything? That's an excellent point, said Dumbledore libertarianly. I'm going to do that, which shows how I'm open-minded and enough to occasionally accept ideas from the far left. What? I gasped. That's a combination of gaping and gasping.
Snow. Wow, I'm glad so many people care about the fucking class struggle. You're comparing this to my immortal and calling me a troll. How the fick is my political allegory that tells you the fucking truth about capitalism comparable in any way to some consumerist fangirl nonsense? Nonsense. It fucking isn't.
Comparing it to my immortal. Wow, I like that. I mean, except this one right here has an actual plot, while my Morse was all over the place. This one is much closer to Harry Potter canon.
Them being communist is closer to canon than whatever my immortal was, and that's hilarious.
Yeah, that's so true. Okay.
We will not accept your fucking bourgeoisie complacency, I yelled gloriously in a working voice. We will protest until you stand up for the racism. Then we all began protesting again and chanting, McGonagall is a racist troll, let's stick a staff up her hole. Protest my decision if you must, said Dumbledore in an evil libertarian voice. However, I must ask you to be respectful to your professors and to not make references to their private parts in your chants. Don't you tone police me, you ancient white imperialist with a tiny wrinkled up dick. I yelled socialistically. We'll be as offensive as possible, because that's the only way to change anything around here.
You're using offensive stuff to destroy the offensive stuff.
I guess so. Suddenly, the door to the Great Hall burst open and in walked Dean Thomas. Hey guys, he said in an ignorant voice. I've just discovered the greatest communist ever. His name was Leon Trotsky. He was an awesome guy.
I think it's Trotsky.
Oh, okay. Trotsky.
It's fine.
He was an awesome guy and not a Nazi fifth columnist at all. The Soviet Union was pretty bad. It could have been wonderful, but Stalin ruined it all. Churchill was an awesome fellow, and Chairman Mao killed more people than fucking Hitler.
Oh no. Dean.
Go away! I yelled in a voice of true communism. We don't want you fucking Trotskyite revisionists. You know, protesting against racist teachers and the libertarian maniac Dumbledore is all well and good, said Dean traitorrously.
Oh.
But you're underestimating the threat from the extreme right-wing Death Eaters who are surely preparing to seize power even now. That's a great point, said Dumbledore oppressively. That's why we should all be united together, no matter how racist these silly commies like to imagine we are. No, it's fucking Do not, I screeched, for the fucking proletariat. Why should we care which right-wing bourgeoisie capitalists rule over us? Did Comrade Lenin align himself with the Tsar to get rid of Kaiser Wilhelm? No, he got rid of the fucking Tsar. Actually, he got rid of the provisional government, which was a democracy, said Hermione elitistly in her bourgeoisie ivory tower. Everything would have been so much better if Kerensky had stayed in power. That's why everyone should be a liberal like me. Liberals are on the same side of the political spectrum as communism, but more moderate. Yeah, moderate to the point of being fucking corporate sellouts to fucking capitalism. I yelled at that bourgeoisie intelligentsia, Hermione. We don't want our Warsaw Pact polluted with a bunch of liberals and Trotskyites stolen for the fucking moon.
Well then.
That was a lot.
Yeah. 23 May Day special. Author's note. Happy May Day and thanks to Comrade Alas I read on 4 for the new cover image. Workers of the World Unit. Vote Sam Webb 2016. Well, I'm glad it's all resolved, said Dumbledore, and never returned to walk to your seat. Well, that's anticlimactic, but oh well. Hey, wait a second! I screamed loudly in a loud voice. Wow, I didn't know it was loud. Nothing was resolved. What about McGonagall's fucking bourgeois racism? Mr. Potter, if you want to think I'm racist, that's fine, said McGonagall in an elitist voice of pure racism. I'm not. I believe in being colorblind and what Martin Luther King Jr. said about judging people by the content of their character. That's the very definition of racism, you fucking racist bitch, I yelled in a revolutionary voice. Okay then. You're ignoring the racist privilege of bourgeois white privilege. You can't just take things from the culture of a country you fucking colonize and claim them as your own. It's cultural appropriation. I agree that everyone should stick to their own culture, said Draco Malfoy, whoa, in an accidentally anti-racist voice. I also agree that Professor McGonagall should be fired. Wow, I'm kind of surprised, but then not, because his dad's technically on the Death Eater's side. But I was also surprised, since Draco Malfoy's family is discriminatory towards Muggle-borns like Hermione. See? Even Draco Malfoy can tell you how fucking racist you are, I yelled back to her in a proletarian way. You say that we're fighting this imperialist war against the Death Eaters because of their racism, and yet we're more racist than they are. Who are we to fucking tell them anything? That's quite enough, Mr. Potter, screeched McGonagall racistly. Your detention of Professor Pepsi will now include all the members of your little club. Whoa!
Oh my god.
Were you surprised with Malfoy or not?
I think so, because his point is, having people stick to their cultures, and I guess that would be what the purebloods would want, because they don't want, the Muggle-borns to, invade the culture, I suppose. I guess that kind of makes sense.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. Chapter 24, Another Detention. Author's note. Anyone who flams has false consciousness. We all socialistically went to our fucking detention in the Defense Against the Arts classroom with fucking Professor Pepsi. There were 2 bourgeoisie books on each of our desks. Welcome to your detention, said that fucking capitalist pig Professor Pepsi in an evil voice. Today we're going to be learning about how communism is just a horrible lie. First, we'll be reading Animal Farm. You'll know it's telling the truth about the non-glorious Russian Revolution because it was written by the CIA. CIA?
What?
Next, we'll read... It literally wasn't, but okay. Next, we'll read Why Communism is Even More Evil Than Western Media Says by John Stroessel. Then we'll relax by watching the wonderful non-propaganda film Ninochka. No, comrades, don't fall for this, I yelled, using freedom of speech in a revolutionary way for the proletariat. They're trying to brainwash us. Oh, you silly Reds, laughed Professor Pepsi in a corporate voice. It's only brainwashing when it's done by godless commies like you. I'm just telling you the truth about how awesome bourgeoisie democracy is, and how communism killed 100 million people. And how many people has capitalism killed, you fucking corporate shrill? I yelled gloriously. Oh, shill. I don't know why I saw an R there. I yelled gloriously in a working voice. The joke's on you, laughed Professor Pepsi evilly. Deaths caused by communist countries are oh my god, I can't speak. Attributable to communism, but deaths caused by capitalist countries aren't attributable to capitalism for some reason. Now open your copies of Animal Farm and start reading.
I've never read Animal Farm. What's it about?
I haven't read it either, but I have read 1984, which is by the same author, so I can assume it's about how communism is bad, to be honest. No, we won't be brainwashed by hearing the wrong point of view, I screeched in a working man's voice. We'll do nothing that you fucking tell us to do. Then you're going to fucking Azkaban.
Whoa!
Oh my god, said Professor Pepsi in a capitalist voice. Then he came forward, grabbed my arm, and dragged me out of the room. He imperialistically put me on a broomstick with him, flew me to London. We went into the Ministry of Magic, and he oppressively set me in a chair with the bourgeoisie chains and Wizengamot? Wizengamot. Is that how you spell it normally?
I don't know what that is. Probably because I haven't read the books, but oh well. Wow, sending to Azkaban, damn, it's like in My Immortal when Trelawney was sent to Azkaban for being too gothic, or when Dumbledore when he had cancer? That's weird, but okay.
Harry Potter is a communist, and he's threatening the war effort, Professor Pepsi told the court in the greedy voice of capitalism. His actions support the Death Eaters and make him a fucking evil traitor. You're sentenced to life in Azkaban, Potter, said that ugly hag, Dolores Umbridge.
Oh no.
In a fucking bourgeoisie voice. Take him away. No, you can't do this! I screamed as the Dementors realistically came forward to take me to Azkaban in a bourgeoisie voice.
Wow, that was insane! I wonder what's... I wonder if we're gonna focus on the other Hogwarts students or just Harry. And that they're gonna try and do something to try and get Harry back. And I'm pretty interested in what Draco's role in the story, you know?
Yeah, it'd be nice to have like a prison break side of the fanfiction.
Yeah.